Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with a quick overview here of the invasion event for Quasar, ultimately unlocking his 6 red stars. But the good news is, guys, as you can see, event being here for the next 11 days, you can also do this with just the Vigilante team and no further investment actually in Thunderbolts as well as Accursed if you don't have them built up. And how you can do that actually is hitting the run score here on 1.2 million at difficulty 9. And then at difficulty 9, when you're hitting the 1.2 million, that is actually going to allow you to land on this milestone 12 mark with some additional Mystic Gear Tier 19 pieces. But more importantly, to maximize the reward here for Quasar and his 6 reds, anything beyond that is nice little bonuses here and there. For me, I personally do recommend if you guys have Thunderbolts, you can actually go all the way here to the very end and actually achieve these Gear Tier 20 pieces, which is very, very useful for the Age of X if you guys are interested in that. So I did do a breakdown video of that yesterday. I'll link that below if you guys are interested, but you do need to do that on difficulty 10. However, for the purpose of this video, guys, we have actually gameplay footage on the last and final node here being the node 8, which is the Odin node, right? And this was definitely the hardest node of the mixture here, requiring Quasar or any Harbinger character. So I'm going to go through that gameplay at the very end of this video. If you guys just want to see the gameplay, just go ahead and skip to the end. But I want to walk you through all the packs that you actually need to have activated so that you can get to this point. So by the time you finish up node 8, you will be able to hit that milestone 12 or the 1.2 million points that you'll be needing. So difficulty 9, total mods you'll be needing for this is 147. And it seems scary, but it's not, guys. A lot of this is just fluff and making sure that your team runs smoothly when you actually run the overall event. So Harbinger of Nihilus, this is going to give Quasar steroids. He's going to be joining the Vigilante Thunderbolt and Accursed trait. Overall damage, armor resistance, and his focus is going to go up. So this is absolutely massive here. When a character dies, allied bio characters gain evasion. It's just easy mods that we can add in because it doesn't actually do anything for us respectively because we're not bringing in the Thunderbolts. Enemies gaining additional 30% HP. All city characters, this is going to hugely benefit Vigilante, right? They're going to be gaining critical hit chance, damage. However, villain characters are going to be losing that damage and HP, but it doesn't impact us, like I said. Actually, my apologies, maybe Electra, but we're not bringing her in because we have Quasar. Bio armor, once again, benefiting Thunderbolts. Mystic villain character defeats an enemy, generate 2 ability energy. Not really for us. Vile rally on enemy death, clear all negative effects from enemies. Thrown defenders, when enemy uses their basic, they apply bleed to the primary. So to be honest, this one sounded bad, but as we were progressing through it, you just won't even see it because a lot of the times we're just gonna be blowing up the enemies right away, and you'll see that in my gameplay footage here from node 8. And then we can't forget Storm Warning and World at War because this is what makes this event click, right? All the raid abilities being active for Vigilante. And then lastly, the war abilities also being active, giving Quasar his full arsenal of abilities and passives that he's going to be able to utilize, as you'll see. So, guys, that's it. 147 mods. Let's now dive into the gameplay footage here for Node 8, how we were able to accomplish that. And again, guys, just to showcase you for my team here, remember that you'll likely need 2 or 3 of these Vigilante team members if you want to push them forward into Age of X for the city section. So highly recommend Silver Sable, Daredevil, Modern, as well as Hitmonkey because they're very, very important. Heck, you can even do Punisher, but remember, that's why you see 3 of those 5 characters at Gear Tier 20. We have Quasar and as well as Punisher being at only Gear Tier 19 here. So let's get into it. Node 8 gameplay footage at difficulty 9. Okay, and here are the respective ISO 8s and how I have them placed. I highly recommend, again, guys, if you have Daredevil Modern at the Fortifier position, it does help a lot with him soaking damage. So first and foremost, not much you can do in the beginning. You have to actually go ahead, use Quasar's special on the Black Knight taunt because you have to get through that initially, and then you can actually kick that off now with Silver Sable's ultimate, which ideally, if the RNG lands right, it should be able to knock out Black Knight, so you don't have to worry about him anymore. And then we're going to just focus everything on on Odin in the very middle here, just because of how prominent he is. If he gets off his special before you can take him down, you probably would have to reset. But as you can see, even at difficulty 9, with all these packs activated, Odin's actually not even that strong. Just making sure that you have to use all your abilities on him when you're able to. So Obviously, a couple of debuffs coming our way from the enemy opponents, but you should be able to land Quasar's ultimate now on Odin. And again, because of his strong resistance, you probably won't be able to get any kind of ability block on him, but we're able to just stack damage and really just try to do as much as we can. We finally get the ultimate there on Hitmonkey, and I just tried going for the stun because sometimes you'll have the secondary stun with Hitmonkey aiming at another character, so figured it was a win-win for me to aim at Odin to do more damage, and as well potential for another stun on a allied enemy. So now that we're at 11, 16 enemies remaining here, that is going to spawn another wave and cluster, including Black Knight. So we just rinse and repeat. Because of how energy is so abundant with this team synergy and the raid bonuses, you can see their enemies are falling quite fast. And again, guys, maybe this is just due to my gear tier 20 characters, but most of my characters are only 5 stars. So if you have them at higher yellow stars, that may be able to offset that differential difference between 19 and gear tier 20. Having said that, you go ahead, use all the abilities, because unless you're planning to bring up Vigilante later on in the later nodes, which I don't recommend because you don't necessarily need to do that unless you want to complete the leaderboards, this is actually more than enough, and it's going to get you through. The only one I would be cognizant of is Quasar, because you'll probably, if you're doing it in the higher difficulties, I would stop using his abilities at the very end here, because you probably want to save up some of his energy for his ultimate and special moving forward into the other Thunderbolt nodes following, or as well the accursed nodes if you're planning to go that route. So there you guys have it. The full run through here of difficulty 9 on node number 8 being the last and final Odin node. And as you can see, that allowed us to hit milestone 12 here for all those rewards there. Hopefully this is helpful, guys. Let me know in comments below if this worked for yourself. I know some folks have been having issues with this, but the good news is that we only need Vigilante to get the job done here to get the full rewards relating back to Quasar's red stars. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.